Okay, now we're in business. Hi guys, it's Wonder Woman Summer. Oh my god, I'm trying to get my intro right. We're gonna be reviewing. If I didn't drop it on the floor, turn up the sound so you guys can hear me. Okay, we're gonna be reviewing Bleach Volume 57. I just finished reading it. Just finished reading. And I still have Volume 58 right here, which I'm going to be reviewing sometime next week. So I definitely want to get into it. In the last book, my water is outside. We did notice that Ichigo was rushing back to the Soul Society because they needed his help. But when we get to it, it's, they sent out a message that, he is going to be coming to the Soul Society and his Bankai cannot be sealed or stolen. So everybody is a little bit uneasy, but Akon actually notices that his spiritual pressure has gone. If you guys can see that. Continuing in, one of the steers, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, has trapped him in this little jail cell, and he can't even escape to get into the I don't even know what it's called. I don't want to say Giganta, but the portal that they opened so he could travel. We definitely see that he's trying to contact Akon. He can't get through, and then we see Jidambo, which you guys don't know, that's from the first episode. You see his figure right there. There he is. Jidambo is basically in charge of protecting the Serite and making sure nobody gets into the Serite. And Ichigo and his friends was the first one that actually went through and broke through, because he actually defeated him. He kind of looks not himself. He looks to be mind controlled or something. And one of the seated members of the research and development department is actually going to stop him. Continuing into it, Ichigo is freaking out that he cannot contact the Soul Society. I should have brought water. I should have brought something to drink. He's trying to break it through and everything, and it's just not happening. Continuing into that, we come back to the scene with Renji and Byakura, and basically Captain Kuchiki says, Renji, you shouldn't have fight him. I should fight him first to fill out, so you can really good at examining, people's weaknesses and stuff like that. So why don't we do that? And into there, I guess this is that's the head steer, and he's talking about the first time we actually hear him talk is basically saying, do you notice you thought that these things right here were poison? And he was like, no, it's not. This is something you have lost a long time ago. Retrace your memory. You became a captain. You became strong. You began defeating your enemies by overpowering. It's a sensation you haven't felt in a long time, isn't it? The name of that sensation, which is most important thing in life, is cliffhanger. Fear. Oh my god. It's not doing it any justice. And he looks a little bit frozen, but, Byakuya is, I don't want to say he's arrogant or cocky. He's just respectful, a little bit impatient, trying. Noble warrior. Yeah. So basically, once the hit steer says fear, and Renji is like, the captain fearing, what? That doesn't make any sense. So basically, talking about fear and everything like that, and just a lot of dialogue, and he says, that's absurd in his mind. He's saying that's absurd. There is no battle with fear. I've overcome it every time I survive a life or death situation. I've never repressed fear. I've gained the strength to move forward, accepting fear and conquering it in battle. This is, he says all of the stuff. And then boom. Now, can you guys see that? What about putting my light on it? And then boom. This is what hits him, and it shocked me when I was like reading. I was like, whoa, what the hell? What is this? And then after you guys can see that. But it catches him off guard. Basically, so causes it, and we cannot escape from instinct. It says basically saying that is not because it's not an emotion, it is instinct. True fear has no cause, no limits. It is countless. It is crawling all up your body. As soon as he says it, it's like a picture of, I don't even know what kind of bug it is. I thought it was his blossoms from his bankai. But no, those are like flies flying around his mouth. So basically, after that, see, it goes to this where he's just bleeding. I don't know how or why. I just turned the page and then he's just bleeding, collapsing. There's nothing you could do. That's to be expected. You cannot overcome your own bankai while it's in Shikai mode. And basically, that's it. And it says, how dare you? You see Rukia and Renji interfering. And basically you start to see Byakura slowly in these pages. Said, and then you see someone crush them. It says, you idiot, he was about to pour in bankai. We could have taken it. Basically saying what I thought only captains had bankai. And basically all of them. And it says, I'm sorry. This is definitely a controversial moment because I have read a part of it, and I feel like this is going to spoil volume 58, but I know there was like rumors of saying a lot of people have died in this arc with the Quincy's, and a lot of people said that Byakura Kuchiki died. I'm not here to confirm or deny it. I mean, miraculous things have happened. Some people have died and came back. Chapter, and it's a very gruesome picture. Let's see if you can see that. It's Byakura splattered all over the wall, which is very sad and disappointing. And one of the hair steers says, it seems like Byakura Kuchiki is dead. It took longer than we expected. It did. Lack of ruthlessness, and the Ritter's only flawed. You're basically having a little conversation. Here is His Majesty Yalmik. Did I say his name right? Yalmik. Yalwik. I don't know. Maybe my pronunciation is wrong. But basically, in the midst of them talking, here comes Shoza. Kempaki Zaraki. With 3 dead bodies on his arm, because he's just, Sabaki Saraki is just so amazing. He's just so cool. He be murdering people, literally. He's a definitely interesting opponent to be facing, because I don't think that he's ever learned Bankai. He doesn't even know the name of his Bankai, to be honest. He's like the only he's the only captain that has never performed Bankai, which is very interesting to say the least. He comes in, he's like, are you the head honcho of these, scrubs? And basically they realize that he killed the Sternritter. He killed these 3 members of them. Hopefully you guys can see that. Oh my god. Murdering people. The definition of murdering people. So he murdered Sternritter, Q the question, R the roar, and Lloyd. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce it. This is actually German, and Spanish a little bit, German and Japanese, no. I'm sorry. So basically, they're just talking to fight the strongest one. That's just all he wants to do. He doesn't want to fight anybody that's weak. He doesn't want to fight anybody that doesn't have the will to fight or anything. So he just goes right after His Majesty. And you see it right there. He says, fight you. And after that, Ichigo is still in his prison. He's definitely upset because he can't protect anyone. And he can't get out. He said, I won't let you die. I won't let you guys die. I'm going to protect you. And we get into the next scene where we're back in the Soul Society and he's fighting. I cannot think of his name and it eludes me. The assistant captain that has like this, like, you know, like what football players put on like their cheeks or like right here above their eye, and he has like a 69 on there. I can't think of that later. He's fighting the Sternritter O, and his nickname is Overkill. So it's, you know, they're fighting in the midst of everything. And guess who shows up? Head Captain Yamamoto. And Overkill is overjoyed. He's like, oh my god, I get to, you know, watch you die and things like that, and thinks that he's going to take over. So what he has done as his assistant captain, his General Yamamoto's assistant captain, he has stolen and sealed his Bankai, and he's trying to use his assistant's Bankai against him. And his assistant captain's Bankai is a weather Bankai, which is something I've never seen before. I've seen ice, I've seen fire, I've seen poison, but I've never seen actual weather, which is very interesting. And that's what it's called. Golden Light Palace. You hadn't performed Bankai in over 2,000 years. You got to see it again. You should thank me. Being very arrogant and very disrespectful. And we actually flash back to a very younger Yamamoto, basically talking to this assistant captain. So it's a flashback where they're talking how this isn't the first time that they met, but him training him, being his right hand man, coming to him, showing him his Bankai, things like that. And basically trips down memory lane, and that's what the next 1, 2, 3, 3.5 chapters, I mean not chapters, but pages are about. And, you know, the assistant captain is worried. He sees this big explosion. I'm going to help you. You know, it's kind of like forbidden to interrupt, like a battle. Ready. I feel your anger. The Bankai you have honed is absolutely not this weak. I've never seen him look this mad in life. Burn, I will finally be able to avenge you. Chero, farewell. And getting into the next page. Oh my god, look at this. This is everything. Yamamoto. And he's just shocked and stunned. And he's like, Captain. And he was like, don't worry. I will personally slaughter each and every one of these intruders. So basically what I've learned about the Quincy's, about the Striders, I probably butchered it, but basically each of them is given like a name through the alphabet. So if they're going alphabetically and there was like maybe 7 or 8 that have already entered, there's still some more left. They don't have an alphabet, they have symbols, and they have like 300 symbols. So I know that there's, you know, Your Majesty, the hair stirrer, I'm just going to say Quincy Army because I know I butchered it like 5 times. The Quincy Army, and then the followers and people that they have recruited. So basically, I just wanted to make a mental note about that. Everybody's just taking it offense, you know, saying like, ooh, what's going on? I've never seen Head Captain Yamamoto this mad. He says he's angry. And he's mad and upset. And it's raising everybody's spiritual pressure, seeing, you know, Yamamoto fight. He says, oh boy, Yamamoto's spiritual pressure is resonating throughout the Serite. It gives me goosebumps. It almost feels like he's... So basically, he makes it to the front lines, and we see Yachi, Lord Yachi. Oh my god, I'm just going to say Your Majesty, because I'm pretty sure I butchered it. Special talent number 1, Sepaki Saraki. Look at him now. Brittle. It seems like I have overestimated you people. Go to sleep. This whole society is finished. See this. And then we see Yamamoto coming in a blaze of glory and fire. Basically saying, it's been 1,000 years. Yachi, I've come to take your life. So what I've actually kind of realized that Yachi is the first ever Quincy, which is definitely interesting. Because it's like how Quincy's like don't live forever. But I'm just very, how is he immortal? I mean, not immortal, because like not Soul Reapers are immortal. So Soul Reapers are 1,000 or 1,000 years old, give or take. The aging process, but interesting. Basically a lot of dialogue coming to steal you, and this is just so funny. It says basically these 3 people thought that they were going to come up and try to sneak attack on Yamamoto. He does not play. He said the Quincy Army says the top dog facing against His Majesty alone. You sure know what you're doing. The end. Goodbye, old man. So disrespectful and underestimating him. And then you hear just this loud boom. He says, don't apply to old man Yamamoto, fools. That's what they get for interrupting my fight. But you look like you want to say something. And he immediately gets into the fight. Not playing any games, not talking, not anything. He is upset. He is furious because at this level, well, I'm not came in, but nobody has ever, the body count has never been this high, you know? So he finally draws his sword. The 2 of them start to fight. It says Bankai, Blade of Ember. Look at that. Oh my god. Look at that blade. It says Bankai, that scorched little sword that was left behind after the fire burned out his Bankai. And His Majesty says, don't take it lightly. It's Bankai that seals all of his fire into one sword. Once it is swung, it is all over. Everything it cuts is burned by an explosion of flame. It's a sword of hellfire. That's right, you've seen my Bankai once before 1,000 years ago. But is it still the same? Feel for yourself whether it's the same or it's not comfortable. Said my throat is dry. Now when Head Captain Yamamoto releases his sword, everything immediately dries up. Even Captain Toshiro Hitsugaya's, he has an ice bankai. When Captain Yamamoto's bankai is released, he can't even use his. Like it wipes it out immediately when his bankai is released, which says something. And and Toshiro Hitsugaya is actually a prodigy. He's like one of the youngest made captains ever, and he's really good. And that's saying something. And everything is starting to dry. Their throats, their lips, even the water that is in this plant. I don't know. Can you see it? There it is. Basically, it says you can't use Yorimaya. Yorimara. You've noticed it having you all the moisture in the Sakura no Tachi. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. He's starting to swing, and it says it cuts but no flames. What is going on? His bankai really changed from 1,000 years. That is the shikai and the bankai of every single zanpakuto that are connected. The power of his bankai is fire. That is for certain. Then where is all the fire gone to? He's trying to figure it out, and then he blesses us and says, the top of the sword, correct. Said the east and the raising sun blade. I've concentrated all of the heat of my fire into the tip of my sword. It does not burn. It does not emit explosion flame. It merely blows away everything it touches without a trace. He's like, whatever. So now you haven't listened to a word that I've said. I've told you this is the east of the Sanpakto. We can see it. I can't even pronounce that. It's the heat reaches 1,000,000 degrees. You cannot even touch me. Think of my body and my blade as being enveloped by the sun. This artistry, like, this is so cool. This is just everything. Oof, oof, oof. Flames, 15,000,000 degrees. There's no way such immense heat would be visible as flames. This is an illusion. Wait. So naive. Perhaps the actual power of his spiritual pressure is overwhelming, that the overflowing spiritual energy appears like flames. Genryusai Yamamoto. And he's like, it's time to end this, Yame. It feels like I'm burning my hair, my eyes, my throat. But if it wasn't... More talking, more dialogue, more fighting, and he actually tries to imprison Yamamoto with sanctuary praise. This is a Quincy's ultimate offensive and defensive. Step into this and you will be torn apart by God's light. He said, I told you, you cannot harm me, the dead. The ashes of those who have been punished by my flame, give me a hand and I will give you a moment of joy, of battle. This is like the best ending ever. So basically, you guys can see it. Meaning, everybody that has been cut down by his sword, died by his hand of his blade, well, I should say died by his blade, has came up from the ground to fight with him. But it was like when Ares raised the dead, to have the Amazons fight the other Amazons, the dead Amazons fight the living Amazons. This is so cool. This is just freaking everything. This was so cool. A Trillion Flames Great Corpse Formation is what it's called in English. I'm not gonna butcher any of this. Not even gonna say. It says what the hell is this? So cool. It's like actually coming after Yamik. And basically says, walk those I have slayed by heating their ashes with my blade. The undead become my hands and feet, chasing those I deem my enemy until they are turned to dust. Ha, how laughable. The head of the Soul Society would awaken the dead. Are you disgraced? You are a disgrace to all Soul Reapers. Do you think? He says, like, very ironically, you can't stop me with such a trick. And as Yami goes to try to attack him, he is just immediately stopped by the corpses. He says, your mouth works fine, but do your eyes take a better look? And he says, he starts noticing them one by one by one. Well, how does it feel to be restrained by your own formal subordinates? Okay, there we go. And says, wait, what are you going? Relax, I'm just putting some distance between us. If you want me to kill you, come over here. By knocking down your former subordinates, you regret not stealing my Bankai either. No, and I know why. He said, it's not that you don't seal my Bankai, it's that you couldn't seal my Bankai. And this is really interesting. You folks first underestimate the power of Bankai once that it is completely yours, able to seal it. You're able to seal it. Am I wrong? That's why you are curious when it comes to Ichigo Kurisaki's. It hasn't been long since he acquired Bankai. He still has some room to evolve. And for me, I haven't shown the. It seems you still have some human feelings left in you. And we are at the end. And it says, you know nothing. I haven't told you already. Do you think you can stop me with this? I can see your tears, Yamek. It must be painful for you to have to destroy the corpses just to reach me. It must be infuriating. Your dead subordinates coming back to the battlefield. But know this, it doesn't even compare to the hatred and suffering of the Soul Reapers you have killed. Then he raises his blade of Amber north, and literally cuts him in half. Well, almost in half. I wasn't strong enough. Please forgive me, Lord Yamek. And that is the end. It continues on Bleach 58. Now, what I find a little bit interesting, when he released it, he did cut his sword. But I'm thinking this guy right here, we don't know his name. It might be in the front of the book. Maybe switch places with him, because there's no way that it was over. I don't want to say that quick, because he really didn't show his powers. So I think he is still alive. Byakuya Kuchiki, I think he might be presumably dead, but we will find out in Bleach 58. I'm very excited. I want to go back to Head Captain Yamamoto. What he said, how he was. Hopefully there's flashbacks in there. But yeah, that was definitely 57. I will be ordering 59 and 60, and I will be starting the Sailor Moon manga as well. Very interested to see that. I'm probably, if they do have all watched the movies, I've watched the TV show, the original, I've watched the American version where her name is Serena, and I've watched the Japanese American where her name is Usagi. So I'm very interested to see that. If you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will be doing more book reviews. Manga reviews. And I will be reading Avatar Last Airbender. It depends. I feel like Avatar Last Airbender has a lot of chapters and stuff like that. And I find I might do a digital copy through Google Play, so I can just screenshot it, and I might do voiceovers on that. I feel like that would be a little bit more easier, because me buying